Hello, everyone. Welcome. Hi, this is Patty Bennett. What a fun video I have for you today. Thanks for joining me. If you are joining in live, you are probably finding me on my business Facebook page on Friday, August 26th, 11 a.m. Pacific time. If you're joining at a different time, you're probably watching a replay, and I am so happy either way that you're here. So if you're joining live, please go ahead and say hi, because I'm watching comments over here on the side, and I would love to say hello. By the way, if you're new, let me know that, because I love to give a little shout out. Welcome to anyone who is new. So we are going to be looking at these 8 cards today. They all feature the Stampin' Up! Aspen Tree dies. So we'll go over that in just a minute. I'm going to let everyone join in. Hi, oh my goodness, so many people joining in. We already have 38. Welcome, everybody. So happy that you are here. So Adele from Delaware. We have Kathy in Virginia, Denise, Keisha, Sue, Heather, Linda, Ingrid. Welcome, everyone. Hi there. Hi there, hi there. I am just going to give about 30 more seconds for everybody to join live, and then we will officially start. So if you're watching a replay, you can just skip ahead just about a minute or so, and you won't miss anything. But I love to say hello to everyone. Hi, Lynn, Donna, Tanya, Cheryl, Diana. Hey, Diana, so good to see you. Hey, Kathy and Patty. Good morning, everyone. Or it might be afternoon. I see other states, Minnesota, Virginia, it's afternoon for you, right? All right. So good to see you all. Alrighty, let's get started, because I have some fun tips for you in making these cards. These are, I made these really quick. Oh my goodness. I'll show you my thought process on these and how I started designing. But I made these fairly quickly, and I tried to use sort of a different little embellishment or whatnot on each card. So let's just, well, before I show you each card, let me just show you what I used, because I know I'm the type of person that always likes to know the roadmap, where we're headed, what we did, how we got there, all those good things. So, by the way, if you're just joining, welcome. I'm watching the comments over here on the side. This is Patty Bennett. I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, independent demonstrator. I've been a demonstrator for over 27 years. I love my job. I love what I do. I love to stamp. I love to share with you. And today we are talking about the Aspen Tree dies. I've made 8 cards here, and I'm going to give you some tips on that. There is also a coordinating stamp set called Perched in a Tree. And I just want to tell you one thing about this bundle here. This is kind of interesting, because in the Stampin' Up! Holiday Catalog, page 46, you'll see this Perched in a Tree bundle. Okay, here are those dies that we're using today down here, and here is the stamp set. And when this first came out, and when I was looking at this catalog with lots of my different friends and customers, almost every single person said, "Oh, I'm not really into birds," and they just flipped the page. And so I sort of let that thought kind of take over my thoughts about this set. And I didn't even get it at first. I didn't purchase it at first. And then the more I thought about it, I'm like, well, I like birds. I'm going to get that set. But you know what? This set really isn't all about birds, or it doesn't have to be. I mean, it can be, but it doesn't have to be. This set of dies is so amazing, and that's what I kind of hope to show you today in these samples. And I'll go over each one in a little more detail, but let's just look quickly here. So we have a moose with some trees and mountains in the background. I had to do penguins. You know I had to do penguins, right? And I thought that they paired really cutely with this snowflake background. All of these cards feature this Aspen Tree die. So I'm trying to show you here how versatile this can be. I thought maybe a fall look would be kind of fun. And I've added this cheerful basket with apples in it. And then, oh yeah, so Kathy was just saying she got the dies and not the stamp set. Exactly. I would totally agree with that. If you like this Aspen Tree die, totally get the dies. You don't have to have the coordinating stamp set. And you know what? I should mention this. I know that a lot of people will be watching this when it's too late. But if you are watching before August 31st, which is just less than a week away, you can actually get this set of dies, the Aspen Tree dies, for free. So if I've got a note here on my blog and on this flyer that you need to use this special code to get it free. Otherwise, you will pay for it. But with your $100 order during celebration, this is a free die set. So that's really a nice gift from Stampin' Up. They had added these 10 extra products in August, but it does end August 31st, 2022. So if you're watching after that, you can kind of ignore that little commercial, but I did want to make sure that you saw that. Okay, back to the card. So this one, I've got some of the snowflake vellum in the background, and I just fussy cut this little deer. Here we have another fall card, and we'll go over these in detail. I'm just sort of giving you an overview of where we're headed here. I had to use the gnomes. I did a video a couple of weeks ago about watercoloring the gnomes, and I thought they turned out really cute for that. Now, I did use the bird. So we talked about whether or not, do you have to have the stamp set? You don't, but if you have it, you can do the bird and add the branch from the set. And this greeting is in there. And I thought that was really fitting because the birdies in our backyard sing all day long. And then this one, just kind of another fun idea using the gnome. And I've got that rays of, is it rays of sunlight or rays of light? One of the two. It's a background stamp. And I did that behind. Okay, so now let me show you my thought process. I need to get these back in order because I think I have the paper over here in order, and that way I'll be more organized. So I wanted to show you my thought process in making these cards. I got out basic white and crumb cake cardstock. I used the die, so here's this big die, okay, on the white and on the crumb cake. That's all I used was those two. I decided that's all I was going to try out for these cards. You could use any color, any designer paper. It doesn't matter. You can use whatever you'd like. Thank you, Vicki. And when you die cut it, this is how it looks. Okay, so it cuts out that oval, cuts on the inside, but it doesn't cut an oval shape. It just cuts this outline with the tree trunks. So that's what it cuts. So I cut myself several pieces of crumb cake and white, and you can, like I said, you can do anything you want, but I just decided I was going to kind of try to keep it a little simple, and that's what I was going to use. I do want to show you a tip I came up with. Hang on, I'm just grabbing some scratch paper so that I can show you this. So for this card, do you see how it's not just white tree trunks? I've got a little bit of shading on there. All I did was, I think it was light crumb cake. So let me just test and make sure. Yeah, light crumb cake. So I hope you can see this. There are these little like divot-y looking things. And so I just sort of outlined several, not all, but a few of those. And then I know, probably impossible to see, but there are little indents. You know how birch trees kind of have all these little spots and places in their bark where it's a little irregular. So I started out by adding that. And then on the left side of each trunk, I just gave a little bit of shadowing like this. And this again is a light crumb cake Stampin' Blend marker. Of course, you want to do this on your scratch paper because do you see it's going through on the edge? But if I put this against white, I think you'll be able to see. Do you see how that just gives a little bit of definition and outline? So I did that on a few of these cards just to give it a little something so it wasn't stark white. But then I actually liked the white on some of them. So, you know, totally up to you. You have your choice. But that's how I started out. And so this card does use that technique with the light crumb cake shading. And I decided I would go through, I know I've shown you these before, but I bought these from Mel's Inky Fingers, Melanie Hawken. She offered these great samplers of all the designer papers. And so I went through all of these and I decided this is a super easy way for me to overlay the die cut and decide which pieces I might want to use for my card backgrounds. So Storybook Gnomes paper is what I featured in these two. So the moose has this paper in the background. It's a little hard to see all the detail, but it gives you that sort of feeling of a forest and the trees and whatnot. And I hope, I hope that you get that feeling of it there. And then, of course, this cute little, really bright, fun snowflake pattern behind the one with the penguins. So those were the two that I used for these two cards. The moose, oh, you can even see it right there. The moose is in the Storybook Gnome paper as well. I just fussy cut him out, stuck him on top, put a few of the iridescent gems on there, and that was it. I did raise this piece of the tree trunks, the aspen trees, up with some strips of, I think I actually cut a foam adhesive sheet up into little strips. You could use dimensionals, mini dimensionals. You can use the foam adhesive strips, you know, whatever you'd like. But anyway, you can use whatever you'd like. Oh, good. Roseanne said that her die is coming. That's great. Thanks, Diana. She loves the penguins. Hi, Holly. Welcome. Welcome. For anybody just joining, we are using the Aspen Tree dies today, and we are making I made 8 different cards. So basically I'm using this die and I made 8 cards to share with you. So I'm sharing just my thought process here of how I decided what to use. And by the way, you can flip this. It doesn't always have to be the same direction. You can use either side to make your card. But anyway, that was the first set, was the Storybook Gnome paper in the background of these 2 cards. Okay. Then I decided to go ahead and try the piece of crumb cake cardstock. And I know, probably difficult to see, but I'm going to hold it up. I've used the timber embossing folder. Can you see that in the background? I just embossed the entire piece just to give it a little more natural, woodsy sort of a look. And I did use the marker just on a couple spots just to, give it a little more realistic feel. And this piece of designer paper came from Hues of Happiness. Now, would you think of using that piece? Would you have thought to get out Hues of Happiness to use for that? I don't know. I like I said, I went through all of my packets and I just flipped through everything and decided what to use. So here we have this paper that I used that goes from the blue to the green. And you can see there, when you overlay it, it gets this look of kind of grass and trees and sky. And isn't that totally fun? I don't know. I just thought that was a great idea. Oh, good question. Anne said, did you emboss or die cut first? I always die cut first and emboss last because otherwise it tends to flatten the embossing. Great question. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Tammy. She said she didn't need these dies till she saw my samples and it's going on her next order. I'm glad you like it. I'm so glad. This one is Cheerful Basket. I already had this stamped and colored. I included this in a previous video with Stampin' Blend coloring tutorials and tips. And I just decided, you know, I just want this sort of an autumn look. Around here in the Stampin' Up, in the San Francisco Bay Area. Yeah, the Stampin' Up Bay Area. That's pretty funny. We have a lot of farmland out a little bit, like almost an hour inland, 45 minutes inland. And people go and they like to pick all sorts of different fruits in the summer and the fall. And then there's an Apple Hill up a ways from us and east. And so I just sort of thought of that, like people getting a basket of fruit and it's fall, it's autumn. And I thought that was kind of a fun look. So that was that one with, believe it or not, Hues of Happiness. Isn't that kind of fun? And then next, I went back to the white. On this one, I decided, though, I did not want to add that crumb cake or any color. I wanted this just all very peaceful and white. And this is a piece of the Snowflake Vellum. I'll show you. Actually, it probably is easier just to show you this pack. So there are 6 different patterns. 3 of them have this really amazing iridescent silver, and then 3 of them have just this white flocking. Okay, so those are the 6 patterns in Snowflake Specialty Vellum. And I was going to try out both the silver and the white flocked dots. I ended up only doing the white flocked dots. So that, if you put that behind, then you get that. Let's just look at it with the silver though, because it really is beautiful. And that's just very striking and stunning, isn't it? But this one, I just decided to keep it super, super, super soft looking with the white flocked dots like snow falling. And I did cut this out of the Storybook Gnomes. Is that the correct? Storybook Gnomes. Yes, that paper is, or excuse me, that deer is in that paper. So that one just very, very simple. Very, very simple. All right, next. Okay, this one's a little different. This one's kind of fun. Let me just, hang on one second. I'm going to see if I missed any questions. Welcome, Colleen. That's okay. It's fine that you're late. You can catch up with the replay if you want to. Yeah, Hues of Happiness. Thank you, Lucy, for answering. Thank you, thank you. So this one, here's what I did on this one. The trunks of the aspen tree are die cut from this piece in boughs of holly. But I didn't want the whole frame to be this wooded. I just wanted the trees to look like they were wood. So I did die cut a white one, and I just used my paper snips, and I just snipped like this all the way around. Wherever one of the tree trunks meets that oval, I just snipped it off. And that's what gave me that oval frame. If I had an oval die that was that big, I would have just made an oval opening, but I don't have an oval die that big. So that's what I did. And I really love this paper. I think it is the perfect paper to die cut these aspen trees with. And it is in boughs of holly. This paper, if you don't have this, this is amazing. I love this paper. Love it, love it. So that's that one. And then behind it, I used from Metallic and Shimmer Specialty Paper. There's only 3 colors in this pack, but they're lovely. Look at this. Isn't that gorgeous for fall? And then this one would be so stunning for Christmas or winter. And then this one, I think of New Year's or wedding. Isn't that beautiful? So I used this piece, and that is what went behind here. And I thought it looked like falling fall leaves. I thought it was really pretty. And this pumpkin was also from a previous watercolor video that I had shared with you. So I just cut that out and put it on top. And the little tendrils, I think they're called, or whatever those little things are called, and the leaves are die cut from Lights Aglow paper. I actually just saved that piece after I die cut. And it's just these trees on here, Lights Aglow paper, and I just used that piece. I don't even really know why I did it, but I thought it turned out really cool. Isn't that pretty? I love this card. I think it just turned out gorgeous. Oh, thank you. Kathy said stunning. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, that is your favorite piece in the Boughs of Holly. Yes, Betty, it is gorgeous, isn't it? Thank you, Holly. Thanks, Jean. Thank you, everybody. Thanks, Sabina. Thanks so much. I'm so glad you like these. Thank you, Doris. Oh, Wendy, no problem. We're about half done, so if you want to watch the replay, that would be fine. And then the other piece from Boughs of Holly that I used is this piece. Let's see, what happened to, I think I've buried it somewhere. Oh, over here. So I just want to show you. I decided to use this piece that looks like a forest. But I don't know, that was a little busy for me. My eye just didn't really know where to stop and focus. And so I just used a piece of vellum, just plain vellum. It's our cardstock vellum, and I put that in between. And I thought that was just the perfect way to tone that down a little bit. You still get that forest effect, but your eye isn't quite so busy. So let me show you the difference with and without the vellum. And I think you can really see that the vellum made a big difference. Nothing wrong with this. I think this would have been great if I didn't do the gnomes, but I think the gnomes needed a little more prominence, like your eye needed to focus on them more than the trees. So that's why I did it. And it's an option, you know, something that you may or may not. Yeah, Wendy, made a big difference, right? Yeah. Thank you, Diana. Oh, yes. Thanks, Lucy. I'm glad you liked that idea. So there are lots of, I hope these ideas are good. I hope you're enjoying these ideas. But these gnomes, I did watercolor in a previous video. So if you visit my YouTube channel, you'll see those probably right still on the first page because it was only a couple videos ago. But I had them watercolored and I die cut them with the matching dies and just went ahead and layered all that together. So these, oh, here we go. These two are from Boughs of Holly. So you have the birch kind of a look, and then you have the trees making a forest background. So those two, Boughs of Holly. Alrighty, this one, like I said, I did want to try out the stamp set since I had it, the Perched in a Tree. I love birds. We have lots of birds in our backyard. I feed them every day. So I decided to try coloring. I'll show you what I did. I stamped in soft suede ink, and here are the markers that I used. I've got them listed here, and that is going to be, oh, I should have said this. All 8 of these cards, close-up pictures, are on my blog tomorrow, pattystamps.com. So tomorrow being Saturday, August 27th. And there will be a close-up of every picture, and I have included this. So from the natural tones, I used 700, 800, and 1000. I used light soft suede, light crumb cake, and ivory. Those are the colors I used in the bird. And I colored right on top of that soft suede stamped image. I didn't want it to be black. I wanted it a little softer. So that was the bird from the set. And then the background, I know that this may not really even look different than just colored cardstock, but I actually used this piece from Sun Prints. And the reason that I chose it, can you see that it actually kind of looks like a cloud? You could do this or use this piece, or you could probably put some white craft ink on a sponge and just sort of sponge over some blue paper and get somewhat of the same effect. But that's the piece that I used, and it's in Sun Prints. I'll show you. You have several different colors and prints in here to choose from. But that's what I elected to use. I thought about doing the brown. I thought that was really pretty. But isn't there just something stunning about blue and white? I just think it's such a stunning combo. So that's what I decided to do on this one with my colored birdie. All right. Thank you. Oh, I'm glad you like it. Thank you. Thank you. So that's that one. And then this one, our last sample, features the white die cut again, and I used this, and I'm not going to blind you with the reflection, but it's the Ray of Sunlight background stamp. I inked it partially with Pumpkin Pie, partially with Mango Melody, stamped it on crushed curry. And originally, I was going to have that focal point of the sun up here, thinking that the rays would be coming down. And it was funny because it just didn't look right. I don't know why. So I just flipped it around. And so that focal point is actually right behind my cute little gnome. And the rays are just coming out there behind all those trees. And this little gal was part of my previous video where I watercolored the gnome images. So again, you can see that on my my YouTube channel. Let me see. Oh, thank you so much. Barry and Jay are on here. You are so sweet. Who did? Oh, I mentioned that in the beginning. Sorry. I'll repeat it for you. It is these samplers. I've shown these a few times. They're from Mel's Inky Fingers, Melanie Hawken, and she has offered these. I think she still has them available, but I got them for all of the annual, all of the holiday, and all of the celebration. And they are such a great resource. This helped me so much to flip through these to decide what papers I wanted to use. Yeah, blue and white. Oh yeah, even for Christmas, right? Hi, Cheryl. Welcome. Yeah, the gnome is glowing, Anne. You're right. Thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying these. Thanks, Lynn. Thanks, everybody. So let me see. Let me see if I had anything over here. Oh, I know. One thing I wanted to show you. Oh, gosh, that was way back in the beginning. Let me just grab this one. On this one, I decided to use these adhesive backed stars. Funny little story. I thought that these were snowflakes, these little gems. I thought they were snowflakes. And so I grabbed them to put on this card. And then I was talking to my friend Kirsten. We were talking about these and she said, they're stars. I said, no, they're snowflakes. She says, no, they're stars. So I read the name and it does say stars, but I thought they were snowflakes. So I used them as snowflakes. So there you go. Things can be really whatever you want when you are creating and crafting, right? They can be your own, whatever you'd like, your own creations. It's your art. You can do what you want, right? So I'm just going to put these out and see if you had any questions in particular on any of these 8 samples. They will be on pattystamps.com on August 27th. And so Jen, what did you think? Did you think they were stars or snowflakes? Talina says she loves them as snowflakes. Let's see. Yeah, definitely reach out to Mel. Definitely. Thanks, Tanya. Thank you, Jen. Thank you, Glenna. Thanks, everybody. I would love to answer any questions if you have it. If you tuned in late, again, we're using the Aspen Tree die. And it does have this coordinating stamp set if you want to do the bundle, but you don't have to. I've talked to a lot of people who just prefer to use the die in their creations and not necessarily make it a bundle. Oh, and it is, I mentioned this in the beginning, it is a free offering until August 31st as part of part 2 of Stampin' Up! Celebration in August. So if you have a $100 order, you can actually get that for free if you'd like. It's one of the 10 things that they added. Thanks, Lucy. Thank you, Kathy. Diana said they're cute, whatever they are, right? Do I put dimensionals around the edge of the top layer? Good question. I only did dimensionals on this one. This is the only one where I popped that die cut layer out. Everything else, I just glued the layers flat because I popped up all of the little, like the penguins, the gnomes, the bird. I popped those up, and so I didn't want like double thickness. And that's the only reason, but you could definitely pop it up. Thank you, Kathy. Thanks, everybody. I'm glad. Yeah, Donna, you're exactly right. She says, great cards, so many different looks depending on the background paper. Exactly. Doesn't it make such a big difference? Let's see. Oh, Diana, from Mel's Inky Fingers. You can just look up melsinkyfingers.com or Melanie Hawken. She does all of these samplers. Let's see. Oh, good, Ellen. I inspired her to go stamp. Thank you, everybody. So sweet of you. Let's see. Thank you. Talina loves the apples. Kathy missed the pumpkin. Oh, yeah. Close up of the pumpkin. Here you go. The size of the oval. So it is, let's see, about a little, like 3.5-ish, give or take, just a little 16th there by a little under 5. So if you had like a 3.5 by 5 oval, that would be what you could use to die cut this same size, or roughly a frame for it. Thanks, Donna. Thank you, everybody. Let's see. What is the background behind the pumpkin? It is the metallic and shimmer paper. Sorry, I thought I showed these. I think I did. Maybe you tuned in late. No problem. And it is this color here. So there's only 3 colors in the metallic and shimmer, and it is that one. Let's see. Oh, blue and white. Yeah, classic, isn't it? Very pretty. Is the vellum silver dots? Yes. Yes, all of those that I showed. Let me show you this one again. So you have the 3 sheets that have this silver iridescent, and then you have 3 sheets that are flocked with white. And those are the Snowflake Specialty Vellum Pack. Let's see, what else? Oh, for those who came in late, can you tell me what the background paper is with the moose? That one is the gnome paper. So Storybook Gnomes. And I used this piece in the background out of Storybook Gnomes for the moose. And the moose is also cut out of Storybook Gnomes. And this is also in Storybook Gnomes. So anything else for anybody that came in late, or if you had a question? Lisa's going to get moving on this. Good, good. I'm glad you like it. Any other questions on these? I'm happy to answer. Thank you. Thanks, Diana. Yes, I wanted to give you lots of ideas for this die, especially since it's a free offering through the end of the month. Let's see. Yes, these are from Mel's Inky Fingers. Melanie Hawken, she makes these. You can just search for Mel's Inky Fingers and you will find her website and her offering for the DSP samplers. All right. I don't see any other questions. I appreciate you visiting with me today. We are going to look at there are 6 new sets of dies coming out on September 1st. So next week on September 2nd, on our Friday Live, I will be using some of those and showing you samples with those. And then if you're looking for all of these, check pattystamps.com. Link will be in the description of this video on Saturday, tomorrow, August 27th. And you will see all 8 cards with more descriptions and all of the products that I used. All right. Thank you so much. Oh, basket is from Cheerful Basket, and it is in the annual catalog. It's a bundle. All right. Thank you again. I appreciate you all visiting. If you enjoyed this, if you got any inspiration, if you felt this was valuable, please like and share and comment. It really helps me to grow as a demonstrator and grow my presence. And that way I can keep doing all of these videos for you. Thank you so much. Tammy just put the link in the comments for Mel's Inky Fingers. Thank you so much. Yeah, Juanita, I'm not at backstage. I just got back from that crafting cruise that I co-hosted, which was a huge undertaking. And I knew that I would need to catch up at home, which I totally did. And then I ended up coming home with a cold, and I ended up getting Posterior Vitreous Detachment. On the last couple days of our cruise, I started seeing all these flashing lights in my eyes and tens of thousands of little spots in my vision. So I went to the eye doctor when we got home. I was afraid it was a detached retina, but it's not. It's called Posterior Vitreous Detachment, and it's the vitreous gel that separates from the retina. And so most likely they said that the cause is old age, which is just wonderful. For those of us over 60, we can get this very easily, evidently. And it could have been triggered by the flight. And so I'm really kind of thankful that I was not right back on a flight to New Orleans this week. I think everything just worked out the way God intended. I'm here. I'm trying to rest my eyes. I am battling with all these spots in my eyes. And so I'm really just kind of glad that I'm here and a little more relaxed and not just go, go, go. So yes, you are right. I did miss the leadership conference, but it's okay. I signed up for the online portion and I will get to see that next month. So thank you for asking about that. Thanks, Susan. Thank you, everybody. Yeah, it is supposed to get better in 3 to 6 months, or it says that maybe your brain will just learn to live with it. So either way, the super good news is that I don't have to have eye surgery. It's just something that either dissipates or you learn to live with it over time. And most likely it will happen in the other eye. So yeah, just one of those little blessings of getting older. So yeah, I thank you, Lucy. Yes, I will be okay. And it's just something that will heal over time, or your brain learns to live with it. So yeah, thank you. Not improving yet, but hopefully. Thank you. So yes, that's why I am not in New Orleans this weekend. But anyway, that was a little detour there. Sorry about that. And I'm so thankful for all of you that spend Fridays with me. I love watching your comments and responding and just getting to chat with you. Thank you, Christy. So I will see you next week for some cards featuring the new apple dies and the new piggy dies. I'm going to show you lots of samples using those. I'm very excited about that. And now I get to go have lunch with my friend Tammy. She has a big milestone birthday today. She's turning 50, which nobody can believe because she looks like she's like 34. And so I get to go take her out for lunch for her birthday today, and I'm very excited. And so everybody give a big shout out and a big birthday wish for Tammy, because I know she's on here, unless she jumped off early, but I know she was just here a minute ago. And so I'm very excited and I am looking forward to that. So yeah, you're all right. Getting old is not for wimps. That is definitely true. But thank you again, everybody. And no, Jean, nothing off balance. It's just a nuisance when I look, if I look down at my white surface, if I look at my white computer screen, my white screen on my phone, that's when I really see all those spots. And it's just like tens of thousands of little floating spots. And at night, mostly I see all the flashing lights when it's dark. But it's okay. I'm fine. I mean, people are dealing with so many worse things than this. And so I'm just thankful and blessed that I'm not having a 2 to 4 week recovery. I'm not having surgery. I'm here. I'm stamping. I'm sharing. Yeah. So yeah. Alrighty. So thank you. Yay. Tammy's still on here. All right, Tammy, I'll text you in a few minutes and we will meet for lunch. I'm very excited. And thanks everybody again. I appreciate you joining me, your kind comments, and I will see you all next week. Bye.